the conference and the area we from,
Right.
the AUC and the SIAC.
SIAC, yes. I started to bring my two-time all-academic SIAC awards. But that's neither here nor there because
You
my
flex
mama
them?
won't let me take them off the wall.
Yes, I understand,
She's so
man.
proud of
I
those
understand, man.
things. Shout out to mama. Let me get them.
We got a special day today. We had an opportunity. We saw it. We got the new head coaches in the AUC.
Right.
Head coach at Morehouse. Y'all know this guy, Falcons fans. So
Yeah.
I'm down. We're
Yeah.
going to talk a little, but we got to keep it. This man has got a program to run
Right.
He's got a program to run, but we're going to talk to him. We got Coach Keaton, too, man. We already know what he's going to do.
That's a real dude right there.
He's going to have us. He got to give us a
I'm going to be animated. He going to give it like it is.
But we want to make sure we get him in. So, first of all, how you doing, Maceo?
Man, it's Thursday. It's show day.
You got throwback on.
Well, yeah, so funny. What I didn't want to do, I didn't want to wear the Terance Mathis throwback because I was going to be like, autograph it, and then I had to put it on the wall. I need like 2 more wears out of it.
Yeah.
But now that he found, we're going to go to a
Come
game.
on, man.
And then, then I'll
Come
put it on the wall.
Come on.
Yo,
So, you want to introduce you want me to?
I introduce him.
Do it, sir.
Yeah.
The pride of Redan High School.
Redan High's in the building, guys.
Raiders.
Come on, everybody. Played quarterback. So y'all don't know that.
They didn't know.
They
That got
don't
me
know
when I
that.
was like,
They know that.
QB.
Yes. Everybody, this man really needs no introduction. He's Morehouse head football coach, our guy, Terance Mathis.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, coach?
Hey, man, what's going on, baby?
Hey,
Thanks for
Yes,
having me,
indeed.
guys.
Oh, yes.
This is
Oh,
a cool
yes.
setup, man.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you. We
Gracious,
appreciate you.
You know?
I always got to ask coaches this when you get that title, head coach of anything.
Right.
I was head coach of a middle school thing. You couldn't tell me nothing for a little while. But to be head coach of a Division II SAAC, the Morehouse Tigers coach, is it still Maroon Tiger? Do they still say
Maroon
They say
Tigers.
Maroon
Tigers,
Tigers.
yes.
How's that title sound to you?
Hey, every time I hear it, I'm like, wow. It's like, it's something that I've been wanting to do for the last 12 years, be a college head football coach and to do it right here at home. And then at prestigious Morehouse College, you can't ask for anything better.
Right. I got to ask this, coach, because you're a DeKalb County product, so you've grown up here. You know the story.
Right.
Just talk about once you got that phone call to know that you would be leading the Morehouse Maroon Tigers moving forward. Just how was that process for you?
Wow. I'm gonna give you the short version of it. We talked about it off air,
Right.
And the thing was, it was a Saturday before the AFC NFC championship game, and I'm sitting there with my family whatsoever, and we're enjoying the game. Well, we were just enjoying each other. The game was the next day, but we was enjoying each other, and my daughter and my son was at the house. They're older, and I was about to lean over and tell my wife, I said, if I don't get hired in this process, I'm done.
Over it.
I couldn't open my mouth. For 3 minutes, I could not open my mouth to say it. It's almost like God said, shut up, boy.
Right.
Don't you speak those words. So then the next day, after me and my wife watching the championship games whatsoever, I sat up on the couch and I said to her, and she was like, what's wrong? I said, I need my own gig. I said, I don't want to go back to high school. I don't want to be an assistant at college. I don't want to be an assistant in the pros. I want my own gig. And she said, it'll happen. She said, just continue to pray about it whatsoever. So that night I went into the room before she came in and got on my knees, this is a true story, and put my hands up. And I said, Lord, I submit. Wherever you send me, I'll go. And when I get there, I'm going to honor and praise your name every day.
That's what's up.
And
dope.
that next morning, you see, I can't make this stuff up. The next morning I get a text when I turn on my phone. It's from the AD at Morehouse College. And he says, hey, can we get together and have some lunch? The next day we had lunch. He offered me the job. I left the restaurant. I called the wife. She's screaming, ah! I said, baby, wait. I haven't signed the contract yet. Wait till I sign the contract.
Let's put that ink on it first.
Then we'll celebrate.
We can celebrate it.
That Friday, I met with the president. We talked for about 2 hours. He told me his vision about football and what it means. I got the assignment. Coach, win football games and graduate 90%.
Wow.
He says, that's, and I said, okay. I said, then he asked me, he says, how can you help put the football brand of Morehouse out there nationally?
Right.
And, right now we have 4 ESPN Plus games.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some other things together. You know, we're working on getting some more national attention. One of those ESPN Plus games is going to be Homecoming.
Oh,
And
it's gonna be crazy.
we're just working on some things to try to market around that
Yeah.
nationally with some national attention. So, you know, I got my assignment, but you know, when I first got in there, it was one of those things. You know, you got to get your staff together, then you got to do recruiting whatsoever, and we recruited really well this spring.
Yeah.
You know, and we had a good spring. We're excited about the young men that's coming in, man, and then every time somebody walks about, hey, coach. You know, coach.
Yeah.
It's one of those now. You know, my buddies, they don't call me T Mac no more.
Right.
Yeah. Coach.
Coach.
Yeah.
Call me, hey, coach. You know, a
It's
lot of
funny
my
you say that, because I'm like, you can't call him Terrence.
No.
No, it's Coach.
Mathis.
It's Coach Terance Mathis.
it's coach
Right.
now.
Why, even though we know about getting the job and wanting the job, but why do you feel Morehouse is a good fit for you?
You know, that's a really, really good question. I get that question a lot. You know, here's an opportunity for all that I've done in football, all the resources that I have, that I give opportunity to our people,
Right.
to our young men.
Right.
You know, I've coached everywhere, but I have never coached a group of our own.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, I don't want to waste what I have,
Right.
and not give them an opportunity to hear or get what I have. Well, I always tell them this. I said, I got the answers to the test. I said, life skills, get to the next level. I got the answers to the
Right,
test.
right.
And so I want to share it with them.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, those who really want it.
Yeah.
And those who really need it to bring their parents out of, or their families out of, you know, to help support their families, or those that have a dream to do so. I had a dream at, 9 years old that I wanted to play professional football.
Right.
So we try to help them navigate through some of the, pit holes and obstacles and all these things that's going to face them. It's amazing because of the fact that. I tell them all the time in our meetings, I says, hey, you come to me and say, Coach, my girlfriend's pregnant. I've been there. Coach, this is true. This is real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm partying too much. How can I get? I've been there. And then the other ones is my mother died. I've been there.
Yeah.
My grandmother, my grandfather died. I've been there. I get it.
Yeah.
Coach, I just, I'm struggling in school whatsoever, that I'm going to be ineligible. I've been there. So you come to me, I've been there.
Right.
So I think this is why it fits.
Okay.
You have a person that's sitting in the seat that's been there.
Right.
And done
Right.
that and seen that, all these things. We had a young man that was not going to come back to school. He stopped playing spring because he's from Compton, L.A. His best friend gets shot. Then not only that, he had some financial issues whatsoever. 3.8 student, biology major.
Come
Not
on,
coming
man.
back. He has to come back to
Yeah,
school,
right.
Yeah.
He has to come
We
back
gotta
to
find a
school.
way.
His uncle calls me, says, Coach, what can we do? I says, well, what do we need to do? So what we did is we found a way to give him some financial support and whatsoever, and he's coming back.
That's
So
what's up.
it's, people can knock you. Oh, Coach Mathis is not a good leader. Why you hire him? He never been a head football coach at the collegiate level. This and that and this. You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
You cannot. There's going to be some people, man, I guarantee you, as we said it before, Nick Saban gets emails all the time about why my baby ain't playing,
Man,
why he didn't
why
play in the
you
national
call that
championship
play?
game. All those
wide
things.
open. Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
I know my buddy at Clark Atlanta gets it too.
Yeah.
But guess what? You gotta keep swimming, man.
Yeah.
You gotta keep swimming, and when you get tired, you just tread water.
Just trail.
And then keep swimming again.
Coach, I have to ask you this because when you came out of Redan, at that time, kids weren't going to go away to school. How does a kid from Decatur end up way out in New Mexico? Please,
I looked at that twice.
I always wanted to ask you that question.
New Mexico.
How did you end up in New Mexico from Redan?
It's simple. I was going to Georgia Southern. Remember Tracy Hand?
Yeah.
I was a quarterback. I was
Right.
gonna be
You gonna run
Tracy
the
Ham.
ham bone?
Yeah, I was gonna run the ham bone. I don't know if they was gonna call it the ham bone.
Right,
when I
right.
got
They had
there.
to call it the T-Mac bone.
Yeah, something. The T-bone. There it is. The T-bone. So the coordinator, he was recruiting me, and he loved it. He said, "You're gonna do this and do that." So he leaves. 3 weeks pass. I ain't hear nothing. I'm like, what? And I'm like, Mom. I said, he hasn't called me. So then finally he calls one night and says, Terance, I'm at New Mexico. He said, do you know where? I said, no.
No.
I said, nope. Back then, here's the funny thing. You couldn't Google it. But you had that little encyclopedia. Britannica,
Hey,
right?
flipping.
So take your ruler and try to gauge how far it is.
Yeah, you flipping. So he recruited me at New Mexico. And then that was the only Division I school gave me a scholarship. So I had to go. So I went to school as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And the story how I became a receiver was almost like, oops. I went to the freshman comes in early.
Yeah.
And I was 6 on the depth chart, moved up to 1. So I remember, man, God, dog, it was Rick Trickett. Rick Trickett is offensive line coached in Power 5, Ole Miss, some of these schools, country guy.
Right.
And we there, and I remember the day we had a little scrimmage whatsoever, and it had rained before, so it was muddy whatsoever. So towards the end of the scrimmage, he looks at me, he says, why your jersey and your pants are so white? Being sarcastic. I says to him, like, Coach, they can't touch me. Then he grabbed mud, started throwing it on me, kicking it on me. I took it a different way because this white man kicking stuff on me.
Like, what is going on here?
But then he says, wait until the upperclassmen get here. We're going to see if you have all that cockiness then. A week later, we have another scrimmage. And I'm sitting there, and I'm not getting in. The offensive coordinator comes over to me and says to me, he says, hey, the head coach said, look, you're probably not going to play any quarterback today. He said, but you need to be on the field doing something. He says, can you play receiver? I said, sure, coach. I know the position. I've been in the quarterback meetings. So he says, you're going to play the slot today. I run in a huddle, jog in, first play. It's a reverse to me. I get the reverse. Bruh, I go 60 yards, untouched.
Yeah.
And then I caught a touchdown and threw 2 touchdowns in that scrimmage. So now everybody's going, what in the world is this? You got to understand now, they ain't seen a Georgia boy like this.
Right, no.
This is Georgia football.
Right.
So I played sparingly the first game, returned some punts, played a little offense, and then the second game I was like, oh. So he started me the second game at wide receiver.
Yeah.
4 catches, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I said, Coach, I think I like it out here. I said, I like it out here. But here's the crazy thing. My sophomore year, I was the backup quarterback. When the other quarterback got banged up or something,
and you had to move
I had
back.
to go play quarterback. So that was the fun part. But then after they got fired, I went to receiver for a time, and then that's when just magic happened, man.
I had to get down to that question because everybody, always, how he end up in New Mexico? I'm going to ask him because I didn't understand it from Decatur to New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Culture shock, bro.
It had to be.
Boy, it was, oh my God. I called my mom collect every day.
Phone bill high.
After that second week, she said, boy, don't you call me no
Miss
more.
Mathis' phone bill high.
And see, y'all don't understand. It ain't just we couldn't just call everywhere.
We
in
didn't
America.
have just
That was a lane called long distance.
long distance.
Long distance. And New
And you had
Mexico
to pay
to
for it.
Atlanta.
You had to pay for it. Yeah.
It's
And it was
not
high.
cheap.
It was high.
It was
she said,
high.
boy, you better not call me collect
Our young
again.
people will never understand.
Call
long
somebody
distance.
collect you want to.
She said, write me.
Yeah.
I said, Mama, you know I ain't writing you no
Stamps
letter.
are cheaper.
Yeah.
So I had to stop calling her so much, man.
That's crazy.
Let me ask you this, Coach. In a time when names have been getting jobs and jumping, and people they don't have problems with other coaches, and I won't say no names, getting jobs. 12 years you waited for this. How did you keep yourself? I told you, you said that you were about to give it up, but how did you go through this and not say, man, I should be, what are we waiting on right now? How did you keep yourself humble, I guess?
Well, you know, I tried to stay busy. Coach, it's funny. I coached Little League. I coached middle school. I coached high school. You know?
Yeah.
I coached in some collegiate all-star games. I did as much as I can.
Right.
Personal training, whatsoever. But I remember about 2 years ago, when I was, maybe 3 years ago, that I was really thinking about quitting.
Yeah.
And I was at my older sister's wedding, and I was sitting at the table with this pastor. And he says, he looked at me. He said, I know you, but I can't figure out where it is.
Yeah.
Something about you. And he leaned over to me. This is no lie. He leaned over to me and said, don't you get weary. You keep going. Don't you grow weary. And I says, and I got chill bumps.
Right.
And I was like, this man don't know me from Adam. But he says, don't you grow weary. And that's what kept me going. That's what kept me going. And then my buddies would call me, hey, man, after the cycles are over with, hey, man, don't you quit. Brian Jordan, he'll see me, he said, don't you give up. Don't you give up. My buddies, every time they say, don't you give up. Your time is going to happen. Yeah. They call me today, and, you know, I have some days where I'm like, whoa. And they go, hey, man, this is your time.
Yeah. Right.
This is what you wanted. Yeah. Don't you let anybody take your joy.
That's what's up.
And, you know, dude, this is my time.
Yeah.
This is my time.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of coaches when it says, well, coach, how you gonna win? What needs to happen? You know, you hear a lot of coaches say, well, you know, we got to change the culture.
Yeah.
We got to recruit better.
Right.
And when we do those two things, then we'll probably get better and win some football games. 2 years have passed.
Yeah.
I ain't got 2 years.
Yeah.
So I got to win them all.
Right.
So I got to speak life into my young men and into the program. I'm trying to win them all. And that's not being cocky or brass, because my mom told me, she says, baby, set your goals so high. If you fall short, you'll still be among stars.
Without a doubt.
Let me follow that up real quick, man. So what is the first thing you do to win at Morehouse?
It's not about changing the culture. It's about changing the atmosphere. The atmosphere reaches more people than it does the culture. You see what I'm saying? The culture is a body of people doing the same things outside of what other people are doing, right? So it's just, you're only building the culture inside, so you're only getting better in this little pocket of things.
Right.
But if you change the atmosphere, you, Miss Nikki, you come in and help us grow.
Right.
And help the atmosphere change with your positive talk, with your prayers, and your speaking life amongst the kids. Yeah. Now, if we keep it in the culture, I'm not allowing you to get close to my young men. I'm not allowing you to. So I'm letting people. I have teammates flying in next week just to be a part of what we're doing.
Right.
So I'm allowing. Look, Ed Reed is about to join my staff. So we're bringing championship pedigree. We're changing the atmosphere. Thermostat stuff.
Right.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Not thermometer. Not thermometer. Thermostat stuff. We're changing it. Turn up the heat.
Is that breaking news?
No, that's no.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
Not breaking news.
Go ahead, make sense.
Well, one of the things when you talk about the change, and we kind of talked about it before the show, local kids, recruiting, staying within the city limits, and that helps build the culture.
Right.
Talk about your efforts in making sure that the city, APS, the CAB, all of these programs becoming part of the Morehouse family.
Well, you know, first thing we set out to do was, in our recruiting efforts, we said, okay, let's go to the high schools, and then we said, let's go to JUCO, and then let's hit the portal. And then our method was, is he just as good or better than what we have?
Mm-hmm.
Can he play Division I football the next year or two? And then the X factor, does he have a desire to play on Sundays? That's how we recruited. You know, at the end of the day, there has to be some kind of professionalism you want to accomplish when you leave Morehouse.
Right.
Doctor, lawyer, whatever it is. Not just to put on the logo on the side of your helmet and play football. You see what I'm saying? So we recruited that way. Then we looked at it and we said, okay, where are the dudes? So we said, so you look at rosters, you look at Alabama, you even look at Georgia, you look at a lot of schools in the SEC whatsoever, and another Group 5 of schools that's in the local area, Troy and all those schools, and you look at their rosters, that dude from Atlanta.
That dude from Atlanta.
That dude from Stone Mountain. That dude from Gwinnett. That dude from the Cooler. That dude from there and that there. So we said, okay, all right, we may not get them, but we're going to go after them.
No doubt about it.
We're not afraid to go after 5 stars.
Yeah.
because here's the thing, and I'm giving a little secret. I feel that if I'm recruiting 5 stars, and they go, hey, I got an offer from Morehouse College, knowing they're not coming, guess what happens? That 4-star, 3-star,
The
2-star,
spreads.
that other dude gonna say, okay, something's happening at
Something
Morehouse.
going on
hey,
at
coach,
Morehouse.
hit me up. Here's my
Yep.
film, blah, 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 this and that. And and even transfer portal, we getting some dudes that can play at a very high level, and we're excited about what we're doing.
Somehow I used to always hear about when we old school, we back in the 90s when we played at Brown, is how do you tell athletic kids to come to a academic institution like Morehouse?
It's not hard. It's really not hard because the high academic kid understands that a Morehouse degree is
Oh, yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
It doesn't stand second to
Nobody.
Cal Berkeley or Stanford
Nobody.
or Harvard or any. It's not.
Right.
At the end of the day, I do. I truly believe that when your resume comes out and say you graduated from Morehouse, they know the struggles you had to go
Boy,
through
come on
to
now.
get there. They know the work ethic that you put in to get that degree. So I want that dude
Yeah.
in my company.
Yeah.
What's up?
Got to ask you this because you being a receiver and you play quarterback too. Are you a little bit tougher doing the process on those guys at practice? We know you're supposed to oversee the team, but sometimes do you like, let me go down here to receiver drill. Let me go see what you're
You
doing.
getting out of that break fast. Yeah. You getting out of that break fast.
Dude, stop landing that plane.
Hey man,
Get out that break.
hey man, I'm telling you,
I already
that
know.
first spring, I'm coaching quarterbacks, I'm coaching receivers. I'm going, what are y'all doing? I'm catching snaps, making drops, throwing balls, and they said, "Oh, it's like that, coach." I said, "Dude, it's that simple." I am very demanding on the quarterbacks and the wide receivers. I am. When I say I'm so detail oriented that it's just they look at me and just go. I says, "Hey man, to play this game, you gotta know every aspect of what you're doing. I mean, the fine tuning." I'm like, "Dude, why did you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?" And it's not to a point where I embarrass them, because one thing I don't do, I'm not a yeller, I'm not a cusser. I tell them I'm not going to embarrass you in front of your teammates, your peers, your friends, your family,
Coaching
or
you up.
anybody else.
Coaching you up.
Because at the end of the day, I'm saying, come here.
Yeah.
What was your thinking? Okay, what did I tell you to do?
Yeah.
What were you coached to do?
Yeah.
Why did you not do that? Yeah. Now, when you say to me, I thought, that means it's 50-50.
Right.
Or if you tell me, I seen and I believe that was going to happen, that's a whole different thing.
Right.
When you say I thought, that means you weren't thinking.
Yeah. They think coach want to hear that.
I don't want to hear
Yeah,
I thought. I don't want to hear I thought. I thought he was going to be open. Well, did you read the coverage and
Right.
did it tell you that he was going to be open?
That part.
But
That
that's your
part.
boy over there, so
Yeah.
you want to get him a
Trying
ball.
to feed him a little bit.
No. He going to get his balls. You just got to let the system do his thing.
I'll end it with this, Coach, because we got Coach Keaton coming up next. Let me ask you this. What can fans, not only at Morehouse, but in the SIAC, expect from a Coach Terance Mathis team at
Energy.
Morehouse?
Boy, you
I
going
can
to
see
see
that.
a lot of energy. Speed, flying around. I don't care if we down 40 to nothing. You're going to see the same energy if it was 0-0. I mean, they're going to play their butts off. They're going to run through walls if they have to. Because let me tell you something. Because when I come out there every day and I start stretch, it's energy. When I'm done, I'm soaked. Because I'm running drills, I'm throwing balls, running routes, doing pursuit drills. So if they see their coach
Right.
with all that energy, you can't help
Can't help
but
it.
have
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
It rubs off.
Yeah.
And I make it a point to, love on them. I high five each and every one of them. I speak to them whatsoever. I want them to know that I am all in with you. And that's what you're going to see. They're going to be all in with each other.
Last one for me, Coach. Your experience, your journey. Do the kids truly, and they probably don't understand it now, but do you think they understand, like you talk about answers to the test, that they have a true blueprint that they can walk in his office every day and just sit and ask him? Do you think they understand that yet?
They haven't realized it yet. But here's the funny thing is, some that know will, or who didn't know, put it that way,
Yeah.
come to me and say, "Coach, You was that dude when you played.
They hit the Google.
Yeah,
They hit the Google.
They said, I didn't know.
They hit the Google.
And I go, well, and we always joke. I said, hey man, what you think?
I caught a lot of passes and a lot of yards. Everybody,
I mess with them all the time. I say, hey man, I was that dude.
Yeah.
But here's
Those are facts.
And here's the thing. I always tell them this. I says, look, guys, and that's why we have so much fun and so much energy. I said, don't be afraid to make a mistake. You're gonna make mistakes, and I'm not gonna get on you about it. I said, dude, I done muff balls with a minute 30 left in the game, and they got it back and 3 kneel downs, and we lose.
Yeah.
I said, I done dropped touchdown balls. I done fell on routes that caused interceptions, and they was paying me money to do all right in front of 80,000 people. I says, and dude, why would I get mad at you for making a mistake? I'm gonna call a bad play. I'm gonna put you in a bad situation, and I'm gonna come to you and say, my bad.
My bad.
I put you in a bad situation. So go out there and play free and have fun. You make a mistake, we'll correct it.
I would tell all the young people at Morehouse and whoever play for this guy, one of the things that I didn't get a chance to do, we were coached by Jim Mitchell for the Falcons. And Alfred Jenkins was the coach for us. Learn from this. You can steal, gain, whatever you can. Yeah. Coach, man, we thank you so much, man.
This has been a pleasure.
Hey,
Man.
you know
I
where
can
we
talk
at?
all day.
You know where we at? We're going to get you back.
Well, we gonna be over there.
Yeah.
We gonna pull up on you.
Oh, come on.
I ain't never been to a spell house. I'm going to have to show up.
Come on.
But I'm going to be at the Clark
You ain't been to
Morehouse
spell
game.
house?
No, you need
Oh.
to come to that one, but you need to come to opening day.
Okay.
It's going to be fire.
Say less.
It's going to be fire.
Done.
We're there. You there, Nikki?
It's at home, August 31st.
There it is.
3 o'clock kickoff.
There it is.
We're going to get Coach Keaton in here. We're going to take a photo with Coach real quick.
Got to get a photo with Coach, everybody.
And then Coach Keaton to come in here. And
We'll be right back.
My man.
I hope the mic ready.
Yeah. I warmed it up for him.
Crush, Jack, yeah, black on.